Hello everybody, Flik here. Welcome to Let's Chat, my weekly vlog series posted every Monday at lunchtime if you're in the UK. And today we are going to go through the comments as always in last week's vlog. I also have two Japanese candy to show off. One is another odd flavour of Kit Kat. So we'll get to that, but I think I'll start with the questions first, maybe take a break halfway through because there's quite a lot this time actually. The other thing I'll show off, well actually I have a box to show off as well, but I'll look into that in a second. There's none left because somebody ate them. Anyway, we're getting on with this because, quite frankly, I want to hurry up and get back to The Witcher 3. I'm heavily addicted to that. It's a fantastic game. Not good for a series, also I just got Skyped, apologies for that. Let me just check it. That's fine. So, yeah, it's a really good game. I'll probably do a Let's Look At of it, I think, because, you know, it's not like I got a review copy, so I didn't need to have something ready for launch day. There's no rush, so I'll probably wait until I'm either finished it or very close to finishing it before I bother doing an impressions video. So it's kind of like a pseudo review, but not quite. That's my plans for it anyway. May or may not happen that way, it depends, but either way it's a fantastic game on PC. I don't know how well it performs on consoles. I haven't heard anything terrible. So anyway, let's get on with it. So DRC97 left a couple of comments saying a Gundam Angel for my right shoulder because I have a, well, the Devil Joe was on my right, wasn't it? Didn't I hold it in my right hand? I can't remember now. Either way, on whatever shoulder the Devil Joe was not on, have a Gundam Angel. Yeah, I could see that, some kind of mech. Flik superpower logic, the Giganox would just sit there and eat whatever it does. Is this in relation to something I said last week? Because if it is, I don't remember. You end up being fated to be in love of Cha-Cha and you can't kill yourself or Cha-Cha. What do you do, Doodle? Live a life of misery. That's the only other option. There's no choice to be made there. Speaking of which, on Twitter earlier, I linked a gif from a Monster Hunter cartoon of like a horror-themed Cha-Cha bit. It's worth seeing. It's quite funny. Dragonak, oh, there's lots of comments here. Hang on. Some people had a discussion without me. Dragonaka says, I will always interrupt your Let's Chats. Well, you've got like 20 minutes to do it. And then Reaper said he also does it. And then he said that, well, Dragonaka said that trolling me is a hobby of his. He does it very poorly. He's not very good at it. And then Reaper also said he enjoys that. Okay, well, you have a private conversation to yourselves. Creating with limits. It's not a good name. Sorry, but it's not. You should, you know, create without limits. Don't feel that you're limited in what you create. But you said great video, so thank you very much. I'll thumb up your comment anyway. Thank you for that. Also, I left a comment. This is weird, but I left a comment to remind me that after me saying that someone sent me a little collage of like stuff I cover on my channel, I forgot to bloody edit it in. So, listen, me, please remember to edit it in now and show it off. There you have it. Hopefully, if I forget again, my bad. Blame The Witcher 3 in this instance. Babab52 says, I thought the SNP at the moment does not desire Scottish independence. Well, the person who was kind of leading that stepped down, so yes. From what I read in the papers, they want higher minimum wage and other social reforms. Next to that, they want less power in London and more in Brussels. Also, from a few Let's Chats back, I have been biking from a very young age and I have never worn a helmet unless it's for mountain biking. That's not a good thing. You should absolutely wear a helmet because my whole thing that I went into, even if you're the safest rider in the world, that doesn't mean an idiot won't get you. You have to account for other people being stupid or careless or, you know, absent-minded. Something could just happen. So I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, obviously, when I was a kid as well, I sometimes rode my bike without a helmet. And I look back at that and think I was stupid. It is not a good idea. Because, you know, you always think a bad thing's never going to happen to you, but then what if it does? Everybody who a bad thing has ever happened to thought at some point in their lives, it probably wouldn't happen to me. That's the way to look at it, I think. Jason and Nino said, I went to the movies to see Avengers, I assume you're talking about the new one, and told myself I was not going to buy anything until I saw an awesome cup with an Iron Man figure on top, and I knew I was not going to be able to leave without buying Iron Man stuff. Didn't see anything like that when I was at the cinema, other than the giant, you know, the freeze blast thing or whatever it was called. Video James says, I used to work in an electrical shop for a few years, and every year at Christmas period we literally got told to lie to customers about computers and TVs to get the shop more sales. Yeah, it's basically standard. Working in retail is a fate worse than death. That's not true. There's some good retail jobs, it's just, it depends on the company. It's the company and your area, I guess, or, you know, the area of the shop, depending on what kind of clientele you have. Like, pardon me, in this region that I'm in, like the whole county, there are towns where I could probably guess it'd be quite nice to work in that area as opposed to other areas just purely be based on the community of, you know, the reputation of the community, whether or not you're going to meet nice people or bad people in proportion. Ardembar says one of your eyebrows is quite shorter than the other. Which one? That one? No, wait, that one. Does it matter? I was under the impression perfectly symmetrical faces was a bad thing. I don't really see it. You have to keep in mind also I'm looking at a slight angle when I do this. The camera is on a slight angle on a monitor that's tilted that way a little bit, so it might be an optical illusion, but either way I don't care. Alex Riley said yes indeed, down with this sort of thing. Careful now. That's a reference. Oh, you actually left a bunch more comments, but hang on, there's one in between. And then after that I'll take a break to show off some of the stuff I have to show off. So the real McCoy, or McCoy, says, I really like your Monster Hunter series and it seems like the sort of game I would enjoy a lot. Would you say it's worth getting a 3DS for? I'm thinking about getting one after I finish my exams. The stance I take on any time I get a question like this is I could never, in good conscience, recommend buying a console or a handheld for purely one thing. However, if you're looking for just one big thing you're super interested in to push you over to the point of sale, like, you know, there's a few games you're interested in, but you want this really, you want something you know you're going to sink in like 200 hours into, or you're going to get more than your money's worth, then Monster Hunter would be that kind of game on 3DS. Also, if you do hold off and you want one of the new 3DSs, not the XL size, but just the regular one, there's custom Monster Hunter 4 themed ones with the game built in that I believe also come at a special price, and they're out soon. There's also a Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and something else, but I can't remember what. Either way, I think there's a bit of a saving to be had there. Plus you're getting the new 3DS, not the XL size, which would be a turn off for me, but if you don't mind, it has custom like faceplates. So anyway, the two comments from Alex Riley, then we'll take a break and I'll answer the rest. So you replied to actually the Real McCoy's comment and you said, I would definitely say it's worth getting the 3DS for. In fact, I got one of the new 3DS XL models with the C-Stick just for Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. The easy multiplayer and better structure really make it the best entry point for new players. I agree that it's a really good game for introducing new players. He also said, so I'm guessing you can't say Holland and Barrett or they will send round the heavies to force feed you health foods and until you die of malnutrition. No comment. On that subject, let's talk about food then. So hang on. The thing I wanted to show off that somebody ate is these things. They were little like chocolate cups filled with a mixture of almond and pear and syrup, I'm guessing. They kind of looked like, can I get that to focus? It's kind of focusing. But yeah, that's what they looked like, sort of. It's not really playing along, is it? Look, that's not a face. Zoom in on it, damn it. Either way, it's a very weird package as well. You tore off the front, and then you did that. And then it turned into like a lunchbox of 2 containers of them. They were very, very nice. One of the nicest candies I've had from Bokashi Connection for quite some time. But they're all gone, so whoop. So the things I wanted to show off were the strange flavour of Kit Kat and also some other thing. Hang on, I'll put the other thing down for now. Can you guess what flavour of Kit Kat? That's upside down. It's Halloween themed, so they were offering it at a special price because it was left over from then. Can you guess what that is? Probably, looking at that picture. It's pumpkin flavoured Kit Kats. And they are open because I was dog sitting for my sister and she stopped by to pick her dog up and I said, hey, I got this today because it was the day they arrived. Do you want to try one? She said yes. So I can describe what she said. I haven't tried one yet because I was going to wait until we're on camera, so I will look out one to do that. That's what they look like. She said that they smelt of white chocolate and they tasted faintly of coconut. Am I going to be able to describe it any better than that? Probably not, to be honest. This is going to be just a situation where I say whether I think I like the taste or not, because I've never had pumpkin, so I couldn't tell you whether it's authentic. So it's going to be a weird one. Also, I want to show you the back of the container here. Is this saying that you can cook these? Because it looks like it's saying... it's not zooming in. It'd be much easier if I was using my camera. Oh, there we are. Is that saying you can cook these and then we kind of go over here? Because that's what it looks like to me. It's like saying you put it in an oven for a few minutes. That's weird, if that's the case. So yeah, there's a whole ton of them. You get like 20 of them in there or something. Maybe a bit less than that. Let's give it a go. I'm going to try it. This may God have mercy on my soul. Right, here we are. Now the Easter ones that were apple and carrot looked like bunnies, but these are actually they're just pale coloured. No, that doesn't smell of white chocolate. That smells of something weird. Is that what pumpkin smells like? That is just a weird smell. Alright, let's try half of this then. Please don't make me sick. I don't like that at all. It does. I don't taste the coconut that my sister said. Oh, and I'm not very keen on that at all. But I have to finish the stick. How the hell would I describe this taste? Imagine white chocolate that got left out in the sun. That's what it tastes like. I'm not sure I like that at all. Well, hopefully this thing will now get rid of the taste. Now this is weird. It comes in a packaging, it comes in packaging like this. Now I'm not sure if you can see, but there's some kind of wafer thing inside, right? Look at the bunny on the front. Do you see a problem with what it's doing? It's stuck a straw in the bottom of a bottle, because actually it is bottle shaped, and is drinking from the bottle. And there's a straw in it, and I don't know what's inside this wafer thing. So we're going to discover together. Also, the Akashi Connection blog hasn't been updated yet for this month, so I can't cheat. I can't look in advance. So I'm guessing it's sherbet or something, but let's find out. So hang on, I'll open it up over here. Okay, don't fall apart, don't fall apart. Where's the straw? There's the straw. So as I say, it is just a bottle. Sherbet. Yeah, it's sherbet or something. But you're supposed to suck sherbet through a straw? I'll try it. It's sherbet. I have no idea what flavour of sherbet. Why wouldn't they tell you to put it in the bottle at the top end? I can't taste anything of that. Although it's cleansed my palate, so I don't taste the Kit Kat anymore, so that's nice. Japan. Right there. Maybe it's supposed to be peach or something. Maybe you need to have a bit more, but I honestly can't taste anything in that sherbet other than this sherbet taste. I hope you enjoyed that little distraction. Now let's go back to the comments. Grinning says, I used the bombing palicos for a bit. This is in Monster Hunter 4U if you aren't familiar. They more or less act like Cha-Cha did with the bomb mass, the difference being in order for your palico to be the most efficient, you have to set all your first stringers to bombing, which means you have to have 2 bombing wielding psychos blasting you around the map instead of a singular Cha-Cha. That sounds horrible. Running 5 protection cats is my favourite because both cats get the ability to taunt and distract the monster. It's super duper handy. Well, you play range a lot, right? So yeah, I can see that being true. Also, Grinning Owl actually lost his character. Apparently downloading the DLC or something like that screwed his save, so he lost it and he had to make another one. And luckily the people who play in my Monster Hunter Nights are very, very helpful, and they have helped him catch up almost like in a night. I joined in for some of it, so it sucks that happened, but at least we're getting him to catch up soon, rather. Massimini says don't give up horse. I think you mean don't give up Skellington. G. Andrews has left a few questions. So number one. There's been a lot of arguments on the web about Dark Souls 3 and how it should play. Should it be announced soon? Some say it should adopt Bloodborne's fast-paced action styles, while others say it should stay the same and allow Bloodborne to be its own series. What are your thoughts? I think I would agree with the people who think that they should kind of stay separate and that Dark Souls shouldn't mimic Bloodborne. They're 2 different ways of playing the same style of game, and I like having the variety. On that subject, also, one of the people involved in the creation of Bloodborne announced on Twitter that they have an expansion planned, not DLC, a full expansion for Bloodborne coming later this year. Probably, if I had to guess, around Christmas time, but that's a guess, nothing other than him saying, can't say anything, but we're making an expansion. That's what the tweet said, essentially. Your second question. I know that in some places in the UK game prices are ridiculously high. How are the game prices in Scotland compared to Nova Scotia, Canada, where Dark Souls 2 Skull of the First Sin is $69.99 Canadian dollars. Currently the US dollar is worth 1.17 in Canadian. I could look it up for you actually, I could do that right now. Let me just get to my Steam window. We'll go to Skull of the First Sin, don't accidentally load it, press store page. So in British pounds, remember we don't use the euro here. In British pounds, Skull of the First Sin is £29.99, so call it £30. that sounds, if it was American dollars, you would double it and take off about a third. So I think we're still probably getting shafted. We're not getting as shafted as the Australians do, but also the upgrade price, because if you own Dark Souls 2, that's £11.99. Are you getting screwed over more? It doesn't sound like it, to be honest. It sounds like compared to Canada and the US, we're still probably paying more, but we're all still way below what poor Australians have to pay, which is ridiculous. Question number 3. Finally, what is your favourite boss in the Souls series and why? I would say that Alone in the second DLC for Dark Souls 2 is my favourite, because the arena's cool, the music's cool, he's cool, he has predictable patterns, so he is not tacky. You learn his moves and then you shouldn't really have much of a problem defeating him regardless of the game's base difficulty level. He's got good design, he gives you great armour after you kill him, so basically everything about him is really nice. Prior to him, I can't actually remember what I said my favourite boss was in the video I did for top 5 best and worst. That was based on the PS3 version before the PC version was even released, so that was a long time ago. I honestly can't remember who I said my favourite was. I remember my worst because it was Ancient Dragon. I mean, that goes without saying, to be honest. I probably said, no, it wasn't Old Dragon Slayer. I like him, but I don't think he was the best. No, I honestly can't remember. It was too long ago, and now I've got the DLC bosses kind of mixed in. But yeah, I would say Alone is my favourite now. Like, in the whole game, counting the DLC. Dog doesn't agree. Shull says, at my local cinema we have a thing called Men's Night, where you can watch a specific movie, last time Mad Max, which is amazing by the way apparently, for €9, and you get a Red Bull and M&Ms. That is weird. Thankfully it also applies to women. So that's a kind of cheap way to watch a movie very early after the release date. Alright. I think my mum told me about something that our cinema does where it's something to do with those meerkats that sell insurance. I don't really understand how this factors into cinema at all, but I remember seeing an advert for it before the movie with like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like on a certain day of the week, it's buy one get one free because meerkats. I don't get it. But yeah, we have that kind of thing as well. We don't get free Red Bulls and M&Ms though. Iron Paladin says Shagaru Magala could be your... Oh, that is totally true actually. If we stick with the Monster Hunter theme, Deviljaw on one shoulder, Shagaru Magala on the other, even though they're both technically kind of evil, but one looks angelic, one looks demonic. So yeah, I get it. I agree with that. Red Knight says... Let's have an itchy nose, sorry. Hay fever, etc. We do the Giga and Kezu because we know you don't like them. How's your day going? And Flik, it's going fine by the way. And Flik, I'd like to take the time to thank you for doing these vlogs and responding to our comments when doing Monster Hunter Nights, and I just want to say you're an awesome YouTuber and can't wait to see you break 1 million because you deserve every single subscriber. Thank you very much. At my current pace, I believe it would take about 15 years for me to get to 1 million subscribers, but I would be happy with 100,000. Why? Because when you get to 100,000, YouTube sends you a very nice plaque to put on your wall, and I would feel like that would be a very nice thing. I think they also send you something at then, like it goes from 100,000 to 250,000 to 500,000 to 1 million. I can't quite remember though. But I know that the first thing they send you is definitely a plaque, like a silver YouTube play button thing. That's kind of like my ambition to at the very least get that, because then even if I did have to eventually move on to doing something else with my life, either because it just didn't work after that or maybe YouTube just disappears, I would still have something to remember it by. That's my kind of goal. 2 more comments. Guildford Gaming says, and he's done with watching Dragon Ball Z. Now onto the non-canon GT. I wouldn't recommend it. Also, there's a new Dragon Ball manga / anime being made by Akira Toriyama, which means that GT is now just erased from history. So I would just not bother with it. My opinion on it is, why haven't I watched it before? My favourite villain had to be Cell, as he was not really like the other villains. He was tactical in a sense, not just blast blast boom boom. And since I'm one that watches the movies and the season at the same time, this site was useful as it tries... Oh, you trying to say it tries to fit the movies into the timeline, because they're technically not... The new movies are canon. Like Battle of Z... Oh, that's the game. Sorry, what was the first new movie called? Battle of the Gods. Battle of the Gods, and then Resurrection of Frieza. They're both canon for this new series, I think. They seem to be canon anyway. All the other movies were just kind of like standalone. Although there are some good ones. I really like the one that's told the story of how like Trunks gets his sword, even though it makes no sense for the one that was in the proper canon story. I remember liking that movie quite a bit. Anyway, just watched Battle of the Gods. It's the funniest film I've seen in a while, especially with Vegeta being out of character. Well, that was the whole point of that. I actually really liked that aspect of Battle of the Gods. It shows that Vegeta cares enough about his family that he's willing to degrade himself by doing the things he does in that movie, and you know, Goku's kind of like chastised by Biru, whatever you want to call him, for not being willing to do the same thing. So I like that they're kind of growing Vegeta's character in these movies, because he was just the tsundere of the series, to be honest. But they've actually given him a bit more character now in these movies, and not painted Goku as the bad guy, but painted him as being the one who he's bullheaded, and it's almost like Akira Toriyama regrets giving Goku the character that he wants to do everything himself and actually can, because that's technically not a good lesson to teach. So I think he's trying to teach via Vegeta that he's grown as a person and is willing to degrade himself, willing to do things that he wouldn't have done in the past because he cares about these people, whereas Goku would want to do everything alone. I don't know, maybe I'm looking into it too much, but that's the theme I got from Battle of the Gods. I haven't seen the new movie yet, so I don't know if that's all been like shat upon. But I'll see Resurrection of F or Frieza, whatever they called it, whenever I can. I don't know when it's out actually, but either way, yeah, Battle of the Gods was good. It was enjoyable seeing Goku lose for a change. Anyway, Reaper is the final comment. He says, I like The Witcher 3 so far, thanks for the shout out. This time I actually have some questions. Well, you have two. What is your favourite monster in 4U so far, and your least favourite? Show your work. I don't need to show my work for my least favourite, you know fine what it is. It's Kezu. What's my favourite? Stygian's an ogre, because he's a dog monster, and he's got a black, grey and red theme, and those are my favourite shades / colours. That's my working for it. Oh, also good music. And I like that he has stages as well where he like powers up. 2. Infected zombie Cha-Cha riding a Giganox chasing you. What do you do? Run away? Probably. P.S. Bomb Cats are just as bad as Bomb Cha-Cha. Well, apparently they're worse because you have to have 2 of them to get to the full effect. But anyway, that's done it. That's all the comments. Hope you enjoyed me trying that weird pumpkin flavoured Kit Kat. I can't say that I enjoyed it. And whatever the hell this thing was. I forgot to show off a game from my collection again, but I got distracted by the Japanese candy arriving. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and as far as other content on the channel goes, still doing 4U, doing Bloodborne New Game Plus, hope you're enjoying that, doing Rebirth, and, well, Scholar's finished now, so I'm not sure. Got Nuclear Throne going for my patrons as well. I'm considering doing Invisible Ink for them next, although I might have a space in my schedule to do a public one first, then maybe do like a higher difficulty one for patrons afterwards, because I think people would get annoyed if I made it patrons only. We'll see anyway. So I hope you enjoyed. See you again next Monday if you're interested, and ta-ta for now.